Hi, this is Sam Manford with your C-Level Selling Tip number 18, and this is all about good interviewing sets up great presentations. Now, this tip, along with tips from 17 till 20, are all about really talking to the executive. What we want to do here in this interview is set up the executive. It's like, selling is like a chess game. You have to set up the moves that are going to put you into the right place to win the executive over and get the sale. Now, the interviewing has a lot of big benefits to it. One, it puts the focus on executives, and executives like to be the center of attention. They like to focus on them. They get to do the talking, and executives love to do the talking. They really do not like it when somebody's talking at them or telling them things. They want to do the talking. They want to do the telling. Their answers, if you interview them, as we're going to talk about in a second, their answers are going to provide you with an arsenal of information that's going to let you set up a presentation that's really pointed and targeted right to the needs and wants of this executive. Letting the executive talk is really going to build your credibility. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you say nothing, shake your head, take notes and things like that, it's unbelievable how your credibility goes up. And the other key thing for your presentation is the executive needs to know that you know what he's thinking. If he knows this by telling you and you acknowledging it, then he's going to be open to listen to your presentation. Now, what you have to do is you have to think of yourself as an investigative reporter. This is critical. I mean, think of Barbara Walters, Ted Koppel, great interviewers, people that really get into the heads of the individual. And what they do is they prepare questions specifically for the individual. I mean, you can't use your standard run-of-the-mill questions with these executives. You have to do a little preparation, work with your golden network to understand about this individual, and then go in and ask him pointed questions about himself, his thoughts, his feelings, his ideas about this project or sale. And they have to be sincere questions. I mean, you really have to have sincerity to learn about what's in this executive's head. If you are that way, then you're going to really score well. Now, you've got some fear issues. I realize this. One of the biggest fear issues that I hear from salespeople all the time is, hey, this executive's a real busy person. They don't have time. I got to get in there. I got to hit the numbers, and I got to get out. And that's not true. If you're talking about them and they're telling you all about them and doing the talking and the focus is on them, they're going to open up and they're going to have plenty of time for you. I can't tell you how many times I've had meetings where they go over the limit by tremendous amounts because the executive's doing all the talking. Another fear issue is you're feeling they're going to be annoyed if I start asking him about his feelings, his ideas, his thoughts about this project. He's going to be annoyed because he thinks I probably should know this stuff. No, this is the first time you're talking to them or the first time you're talking to them about this project. They know you don't know, and they're going to be open to tell you. Now, if you've been there 3 times and you start asking these questions, that's another story. Then they will get annoyed. And the key here is that the answers they give you are going to be an arsenal of critical information so that you can build your presentation. Now, here's the common situation. Your questions are you focused. You go in there and you say, like, what's the budget? When you're going to start doing this thing? And you go through what I call the interrogation, the 20 questions. They're all about you. They're not about the executive. What are your feelings? What are your concerns about this project? That's about the executive. How can I help you with the project? That's an I question. What are your concerns about the project is a he question or a she question. How can I help you? What can we do for you? Those are we questions, and they're all about you. How, why, and what. These are not quite I questions, but they tend to put people on the defensive. How are you going to do the project? Why are you thinking of doing it that way? What are you going to do if you don't do it? Things like that. Those tend to put people on the defensive. And if that's the case, the resulting problem is you learn nothing. They'll give you ambiguous answers or defensive positions, and what happens when they give you these ambiguous answers or defensive positions, they say, oh, everything's fine, we're going to do it our way, or we'll think about it, everything's fine, and that stops you right in your tracks. And most salespeople will then go into, oh, well, let me tell you why we're so great, or let me tell you why you should be thinking about these problems and things like that, and you just do a song and dance, which really annoys them even farther. They want to get rid of you in a heartbeat. So, let's check yourself. Let's see how you do interviewing, if you do interviewing. and you can stop this anytime and answer the questions. Always as a 4 down to sometimes as a 1, 0 as a never. When you meet a new executive or influential leader, or for the first time you're meeting them about this project or sale, and you haven't seen in a while, do you tend to have a standard routine? I mean, hi, how are you? How's the kids? You go in your standard routine and then say, well, how can we help you today? Or just here to see what we can do for you better. Do you have a standard routine, or do you specifically prepare your questions? Do you have a typical group of questions you use? Pretty much the same as I was talking about in number 1. Do you feel uncomfortable starting a meeting with questions? A lot of salespeople do. How do you feel about it? You're always uncomfortable. Sometimes you're uncomfortable, And then number 4, do you feel pressured that the executive has limited time and you'd better get your presentation out quickly? Answer that, sometimes I'd feel that way. I never feel that way. Scoring 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, add them all up. This is an easy one. 5 or less is good. Believe it or not, 5 or less are good. More than 5 means you need to rethink this. And here's a good tip to help you rethink it. Ebook number 18 has got 10 pages of questions and techniques that you can use to learn how to interview better. 5 complete strategies and tactics for interviewing. A full Take It to the Street worksheet, which helps you feel comfortable preparing and making it your own. And an application story that shows you how to work it. You can learn what to do about interviewing, how to do it, and how to feel comfortable doing it. It's all at this website right here, or this link right here. And in a second there'll be a box down here where you can click on and get right to it. You can also at that site get a free ebook on getting past gatekeepers and handling blockers if you haven't already picked it up. Okay, so look for the next tip. Like I say, these 4 tips are all about interviewing and working with executives so that you really build your credibility and endear them to you. Okay, good selling. Look for you on the next tip.